Hi everyone, Dr. Sean here with a video. This time I'm going to be talking about chlorine, water filters, and some things you can do that may be protective against the influence of chlorine. So in this video, hang with me at the end. I'll get into those things that can protect you against the influences of chlorine and maybe fluoride and some other chemicals that are added to water. And so watch the video for that that information I'm going to be sharing with you. And also I'll get into a little bit about filtrations. I've been super frustrated with water filtration systems, trying to figure out which ones work. I don't really feel like there's a good source out there to trust. So anyway, it's a little bit of learning along the way. And I saw some things, observed some things, and I'd like to share them with you. And hopefully they show up in this video because the quality of the video may not pick up the color change as much as it does in real life. So here's my challenge to you. After watching this video, I want you to test the experiment yourself and see if this doesn't happen also with you. I've repeated it multiple times, so I'm pretty confident that it will happen to you, particularly if you use the same stuff that I'm using. Maybe some variances a little bit different, but here's the proposition. Is Cabernet Sauvignon, red wine, a proxy for the presence of chlorine, what I think is chlorine, in water? So the reason why I say that is because I have observed that typically when I predominantly eat carnivore with fermented foods, and so I like to pair my dinner with usually as a red meat with a red Cabernet and Cabernet Sauvignon. So it pairs really good. It makes your red meat taste better, and it makes the wine taste better. So if you don't know about that already, and I did, it was actually a client who talked me into this. I was never a really big wine drinker, but he was exactly right. So I enjoy red wine much more when I drink it with my meal with red meat, and I enjoy my red meat more when I consume it with Cabernet Sauvignon or red wine. So is Cabernet Sauvignon a proxy for chlorine? In other words, does it help identify the presence of chlorine? And I think it does. So I'm going to demonstrate that, and we're gonna do that, work through this in this video in a variety of different ways. So what we're going to be testing is the presence of chlorine in tap water. So I've got a pitcher of tap water here, and we're going to also add bottled plastic water, which is from a purified source, a well and a purified source. And I don't see anything on their literature that it's chlorinated water, so I take it as an article of faith that they are just taking well water and they've added some minerals to it, but no chlorine. And then I'm also testing the Big Berkey, which is a purchase product that I acquired to filter our water in our home. And I'm also testing the Brita pitcher, which is something that I used when I deploy, where I can't necessarily bring a Big Berkey with me into the desert when I'm serving our country in the Army National Guard. And then I'm also going to test San Pellegrino, which is going to be the control. Basically, San Pellegrino is a mineral water that I'm also taking on faith that they are not adding any chlorine water. And I observed after a period of washing the dishes multiple times, our wine glasses, that as soon as that chlorinated water, that tap water, hits that, it turned the purple wine to blue. That's right, it turned it instantly blue. And I'm going to demonstrate that. So what I know from education in elementary school, primary school, the primary colors, so red, blue, and yellow. So when you combine red and blue, you get purple. And so what I inferred from my observation, repeated over numerous evenings of washing wine glasses, is that the red was being removed and the blue was left. So the red compounds in wines are basically phenolic compounds, the biophenols, the flavonoids, the anthocyanins present in the grapes, red grapes, not white. You don't do white wine for this experiment. It's not going to work. It's going to be clear. So those compounds are eliminated. It's just left with blue. It's a very interesting chemical observation. I knew it was chemical because ordinarily if you add neutral water to something, it just dilutes it. So it should just be a lighter color purple, but it wasn't. It was taking purple and turning it blue by eliminating those red compounds. And those compounds I mentioned, the anthocyanins, the phenolic compounds, phenols, bioflavonoids, biophenols, those delicate metabolites are predominantly red in color, and they're antioxidants. So they protect us against oxidation. But I think they could be overwhelmed with too much oxidation. The chlorine and themselves get oxidized and they're eliminated. And I think that's what's going on. So stay with me after this video, watch this interesting demonstration. The wine I am using, and you can try for your experiment, is carnivore wine. By the way, I have no interest in carnivore wine. I have no financial interest in it or any of the products that I'm going to be covering tonight. So, and you can take that for faith. I will never do a commercial for something that I have a financial interest. I might do something for free if I think it's good, but I want no conflict of interest. I am for your health and not profit. Not somebody else's profit, not my profit. For your health, not my profit. So I will never take any financial interest. I'm tired of trying to sort through stuff where people out there telling you about health and they're profiting from it. So I'm going above that. So I'm for your health, not profit. And this demonstration, I have no financial interest in any of these products. So that said, let's go ahead and do this experiment. And what we're going to do is start with this San Pellegrino water. And we're going to add, there's equal amounts of red wine in all of these glasses. This might look like it's a little bit more because there's a little bit of blueberry, and I added, the last blueberries I had to add had a little bit of water on it, but there's the same amount of wine added to each of these glasses. Okay, so San Pellegrino is going to be our control group, and we're going to add a little bit of water to that. And you can see that it's just a kind of a light, hopefully you can see that that is a light purple color. We're going to leave it back up there. And now we're going to add the other compounds present. And we're going to do first our Brita pitcher. I'm going to take a Brita. And by the way, this is how I stack them so I can save a little time. It's my own invention because I didn't want to just do it one time. I wanted 3. The third one broke, you know, when I was on activation for the National Guard. But you can stack these things. I just cut a hole into one of those, and actually burned a hole with a hot knife and went around and made a perfect customized thing. So anyway, you can do that too. And I'm going to add the Brita pitcher now, the water, and you'll see that hopefully you can tell that that turned blue. Can you see that this, and maybe I'll add a piece of paper behind it, is more of a blue color. And so it suggests that Brita pitcher is not working really great compared to the more purple color here. And now we're going to do the same thing with the big Berkey. So this is water I filtered in my big Berkey. We're going to add that to that as well. And wow, look at that. Can you see that? That, hopefully you can see, is, let me add a little more equal water so no one argues that. Look how quickly that turned blue. Yeah, that's not a purple color anymore. That's a blue color. And just so I have equal amounts of fluid in there, let me put the San Pellegrino in there, and you can see that that's still, hopefully you can still see that that is still red color. And the Brita is a light blue, but this is really a very blue color. Isn't that crazy how fast that turned? And so now we're going to do the bottled water, and we're going to use this particular brand here is Nestle from some, well, because we saw it in the Army, and so that's what we got. That's what I'm using, and we're going to add the bottled well water to that, presumably with no chlorine. And you can see that that is that's a little more pink, but it is not the San Pellegrino. So You know, it has a little bit more bluing to it, but it's still predominantly pink. I don't know, what is it? Is it the plastic? You know, the plastic residual toxins in that plastic bottle? I don't drink out of plastic bottles. I take it and I filter it through my Brita pitcher. But look at that crazy Big Berkey, my God. If anybody's with Big Berkey, you guys have to solve this problem. I'm not saying it's a bad filter, but man, look at that. I mean, test it. You know anybody Big Berkey? Have them do this. You got a Big Berkey? You do this. You got a Brita pitcher? You do this. But San Pellegrino is still nice and pink. Now, let's do the chlorinated tap water, okay? So we're gonna take my pitcher of tap water and we're gonna add it to the to that, and we can see that it is turned quite blue, and it is just the tap water. Okay, so you can see that blue color from the tap water. And now we're going to add the tap water to other things to see, as I told you at the beginning, I was going to see, can you do something beyond filtration to help eliminate and mitigate, I should say, the influence of chlorine. So what we're going to do is add my chlorinated, I feel like a science teacher all of a sudden. We're going to add the chlorinated water, tap water, to this bit of wine, the Cabernet Sauvignon Carnivore brand, with some kimchi juice in it, just to see, does kimchi juice have a protective effect? I don't know. I do know about blueberries, but I'm interested in seeing if kimchi has that. And it's just kimchi juice. So we're going to add the kimchi juice to that, and you can see the chlorine. Now we're going to add the kimchi, or the water, chlorinated water, to fresh blueberries. So these are the big cultivated kind of store, the ones you like, really filled with sugar, fructose. They're weird because they're I call them freak fruit. They're just big blueberries. We're going to see what kind of a influence those blueberries have in protecting the wine, the delicate compounds in wine from chlorine, from chlorinated water. So that is the wine with blueberries and the chlorinated water. So it's still pretty red. So actually there's something about blueberries that protect it against the influence of what I am inferring is chlorine. Could also be the fluoride in there, because in my municipality where I live in Minneapolis, they add both chlorine and fluoride. But I'm pretty sure this is oxidizing the effects from chlorine. That's what I'm guessing is going on. Now we're going to add the same amount of water, tap water, to wild blueberries, okay? Just see if they have confer any more benefit, and I don't know. But we're just going to see if wild blueberries that are smaller, and the brand that I'm testing here, if anybody wants to reproduce this, is Wyman's. So Wyman's is a pretty common brand. They come from Maine, and I'm taking again on faith that they're wild. They're small, so they look like they're wild fruit. It doesn't look like the big blueberries that you get in the store in these kind of containers. And I had this in my refrigerator, and I rarely have fruit, and the kids got into it. They ate, thank God they left me two blueberries to do the experiment. But yeah, so if you have this kind of stuff around, yeah, my kids start talking about, well, I guess we can eat it. Well, let's look at the wild blueberries and see what kind of effect it has. So we're going to add that here. And so those are the wild blueberries with chlorinated tap water. And so we'll look at that. And I'm not seeing too much of a difference, except maybe it's slightly more blue with the those Wyman blueberries, because they were frozen. I don't know. Does freezing? I'll have to. Anybody know the Wyman family? Have them send me some fresh wild blueberries. But my guess is maybe when you freeze it, they don't work as good. And that might be what's going on, because it looks to me like it's more a little bit more blue, but nothing like tap water and nothing quite like the big Berkey. And so, you know, to sum this up, what seems to work the best for this experiment, for this proxy, is San Pellegrino. I mean, there's no chlorine. That works the best. That's the purest. And then the Brita pitcher it seems to be the best product. I mean, at least that I tested here. The Berkey there's something going on with that Berkey. Not happy. I spent all that money, and maybe it's filtering everything out but this one proxy. But if you're with Big Berkey, I want you to come online. I'm challenging you. Do a reprisal to this. I want to see that your product now is stopping whatever the heck is going on there from chlorine that I infer, to see what's going on. You know, do the same thing. Go get yourself a bottle of, you know, carnivore wine, Big Berkey, and Brita. You guys gotta, you know, I give you a C, but you got a ways to go too. There's some blue in there compared to, you know, the neutral water from Italy. So get your carnivore wine and do that, and then, you know, these benefits seem to be present. Is fresh blueberries seem to work the best, even though they're loaded with sugar, and then kimchi juice looks like it's done a pretty good job. It is not great, but and I can't tell because it added some orange to it, but that looks like it works pretty well. And wild blueberries works better than the filters, but it's still got a blue color to it, blue purple. So summing this up, I recommend drinking spring water in a glass bottle. You know, I like San Pellegrino. My source for San Pellegrino is Costco. You can get it cheap. It's about I think about 89 cents a bottle at Costco. Don't dry out my supply for me, but Costco is a great source to get it. And don't get the plastic bottles. Plastic, you can see here, there's something maybe in the plastic that's not good. So San Pellegrino's bottled from Italy, I think at the source, and they may add a little carbonation, but otherwise nothing else added to it. So anyway, if you like this video, give it a like. If you know somebody that's drinking a lot of chlorine, a lot of tap water, doesn't think there's any harm in it, if you're a public municipality official, I want you to, you know, think about these things. Share this video with other people so they're aware of it. I mean, I haven't found anything else on the internet as a proxy for chlorine, municipal, you know, chlorinated water. The best thing is, and you got to use a very small amount of wine. I use a very small. You cannot use much wine. You know, we're talking like a 1/32 of a teaspoon. Very, very small amount of wine. So that, you know, if you put too much in there, you can't tell. So a small amount of wine to reproduce this. So like this video, share it with other people, give it a like. If you're seeing it on YouTube, consider subscribing to me, you know, and encourage me so that I could do some more videos. These videos are a lot of work to do, and I'm a one-man band. I'm doing this all by myself. So, you know, if I see there's interest, and if this lines up with my passion, which is to help the most amount of people become optimally healthy, people that really want to become healthy, to become optimally healthy, then I'll hang with this. But if I don't see that, I'm going to look for the best ways of getting the most number of people optimally healthy. I'm not sure what that is. Right now, I'm playing around with social media, and I'm looking for influencers. So if you run an organization, large organization, or you are an influencer on social media, and you want to optimize your health, I want to study you. I want to work with you to get you more followers and to, in turn, recruit you to optimize your health. So, you know, I'm 57 years old. I'm a health and performance optimizing physician in Minneapolis. And if you're interested in optimizing your health, you want to work with me, you can follow me on, first of all, on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at DrSeanomara at Dr. Sean O'Mara for all three. And you can also see me on my YouTube channel, my videos, just Dr. Sean, S-E-A-N-O-M-A-R-A. So you can follow me on YouTube. And if you are interested in working with me, want to work one-on-one, you can get more information on me on my humble websites. I'm a one-man band. That you can get more information, www.drsean.weebly, weebly.com. Hopefully I figure out how to get rid of that Weebly sometime. And, or you can also look for me on www.drshawnO'Meara.com or www.medconwellness.com. Again, it's Shawn O'Meara, for your health, not my profit, and super excited to be sharing this content with you to help you figure out the best ways to optimize your health. And here, again, I'm asking the questions, what is chlorine doing to our nutritional sources? And what is chlorine doing to not only those delicate metabolites that are a part of our food, but also to our microbiome inside of us. So I hope to get more into the microbiome so you can evaluate the influences of that. Again, consider sharing this video to other people, and hopefully I entice you guys to start looking at this experiment. If you do it, direct message me or give some comments on these videos and see, so that we get other people taking a look at this. All right, well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it very much. Oh, one last point I want to make. The FDA and all these people looking at chlorine, they're only looking at the effect on human cells. They're not looking at its effect on our food source. And they're not looking at our effect on our microbiome, the other microbes inside of it. So, if it doesn't get measured, it doesn't get fixed. They're not looking at the right things. I want to open up their minds more. So hopefully this proxy helps people to realize that. All right, well, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to doing some more videos.